Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the coaching vlog here at RX2 Movement. Today's topic is inspired by a question that I get asked pretty often, and it's, how do you coach stubborn athletes? You know, the athletes that are undisciplined, they don't listen to your advice, they don't receive feedback very well, and they become a royal pain in your butt. When they walk in the door, you're like, oh gosh, it's them again. And they're moving and you just want to shoot yourself in the head because it just looks so terrible. And every time you try to give them feedback, they don't want to listen. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. First, I want you to realize and remember that coaching is more than just coaching movement and coaching nutrition and general wellness. As coaches, we also serve in the same capacity as a psychologist or even like a bartender or a taxi driver. We're also salespeople. And not just in the sense of selling memberships, but also every single day we're trying to get people to buy in to do things that they probably would rather not do. Like 7 minutes of burpees or 100 thrusters for time with a bunch of burpees every minute on the minute. Things like that. Running 5K, rowing 5K, Fran. So we're going to look at this from the perspective of a salesperson, and we're going to actually go through the sales process and show you how you can use that to convince people towards your way of thinking. The first step of sales is, number one, to make a connection. And this connection is going to be the first of many. Sales doesn't happen all in one day. It usually is a long, drawn-out process, and it's a process built on making connections. So first, you got to get to know them. What's their name? Do you call them by their name or do you call them by hey you? Do you know where they work? Do you know about their family? Do they have kids? Are they married? What do their kids do? The more you can get to know someone, the more likely they're going to trust you and want to listen to you. When you show a genuine interest in someone as a person, they're more likely to buy into what you have to say to them. I have this reputation of being a soul crusher. Like, I'm fiercely relentless about movement, and I make people do things that they don't want to do. They're uncomfortable, they're in pain, but I guess I have this way of conveying that I actually care about them as a person, and they're more likely to let me beat them up emotionally, physically, all kinds of ways. But they just sense that there's a genuineness there, that I actually do care. And that, number one, that is step one. You have to care. You have to care about the person and not just your own ego or just your own success. Like, you have to genuinely want to make these people better, and they're more likely to listen to you if they can sense that from you. Now, secondly, we want to do a needs analysis. Every time you do sales, every time you're trying to get to know a client better, the best thing to do is to find out, what do they want? What are their goals? What are their dreams? What are they expecting to accomplish in that 1 hour of time that they have with you at the gym? Now, there are some athletes that you're going to have to remember are just there to sweat, and they really don't care about becoming good movers or good CrossFitters. And you just have to kind of pick your battles. If you're working with someone who just absolutely refuses to listen to your advice or feedback, if that's them and they just want to come in and sweat, don't press them too hard, okay? You're going to make them want to quit. The biggest thing is getting people to keep coming back every day. All right? There are some athletes in the gym that I know, they really don't care what a snatch is or a clean is. They just want to get sweaty and feel like they accomplished something. So I'm going to be a little bit less relentless with them on quality of movement, as long as they're not hurting themselves. As long as they're not going to injure themselves, I'm not going to get really nuancy with technique on the split jerk or whatever it is, you know? My biggest goal is to keep them coming back every single day. If they quit, you lose your influence. You lose that opportunity to influence them. Just make sure they keep coming back. Okay? Now, when you know what people's needs are, let's say there's an athlete who generally does want to get better, but they're just hard-headed. Okay? Then what you do is you try to win them over with small yeses. You know, they might be doing all kinds of gross errors. But if you can maybe get them to get better by giving them one just really, really teeny tiny tip, like, hey, can you move your feet out just a tiny bit wider? And let's just try that. Like, just humor me. If you don't like it, you don't like it, that's fine. But let's just try this. And then watch them squat. And if it makes it better, then let them know, oh my gosh, that looks so much better. Did that feel better? And a lot of times they'll be like, oh yeah, actually it did feel better. And there you go. You made some rapport. You made a small victory. And you build on that. Okay, cool. Day one, you got one small victory. Leave it at that. Let them feel accomplished and let them come back for more. Then the next time you go for another small yes. Hey, when you squat this time, do you think maybe you could push your knees out just a tiny bit? I'm like, no, I can't get them out anymore. Like, I just don't have the mobility. Well, just give me a little bit. And here's the thing, a lot of athletes, sometimes they don't feel like they're making progress. Like, oh, that's all I got, that's all I got. But then you say, hey, no, keep pushing just a little bit more. And then, wow, they move a whole centimeter or an inch more. But they didn't realize it. You can even show them a video, hey, look, this is much better than what you were doing earlier. And so there's another small victory. So again, it just becomes a series of small yeses and small buy-ins from them. And the more they're able to make teeny tiny changes, the more likely they're going to be willing to listen to you when you have this big change. Like, dude, you're really pulling early with your arms. We need to fix that. Like, okay, cool. I trust you. Like, you fix these other things. I'm moving better. Again, we want to make small connections and win those small yeses. And then as we see those changes and we see those small victories and we applaud those small victories, number one, you make them feel accomplished. Because sometimes people are just really defensive. They don't like getting feedback. But if you just get them to make one small little bitty change and they see a big improvement, they're like, oh wow, okay, well I guess that's not so bad. Let me try something else. Okay? So my encouragement to you guys, just kind of to sum up. Number one, as coaches, you have to care. You have to care. People need to understand and know that you care. They're much more likely to listen to you when they know that you care. One of the things that I learned really early on was people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's first. You gotta care. That's everything. Then what you do is you do a needs analysis. You figure out why are they here? What makes them tick? What are their goals? What are their dreams? What are they trying to accomplish while they're at the gym? If they're just there to get a sweat on, then that's fine, okay? As long as they're not doing something unsafe, then just let them have it. It's gonna be fine. Alright? They're still gonna get fitter. And then, let's say they do want to get better, but they're just a little hard-headed. Look for small opportunities for teeny tiny changes. And build that rapport, build that trust, slowly but surely. And those people that were the biggest pains in your butts will often become your favorite athletes. Okay? So, number one, get people to come back in the door. Number two, figure out what their needs are. Number three, continue to make connections. Number four, build their trust. Number five, celebrate small victories with them. Good luck with this, guys. If you have any questions or any requests on topics, I'm happy to field those. Send me a message or leave a comment below. See you guys next time.